you finally see those two lines. And before you can even take a breath, before you can even smile, your brain starts. What if something goes wrong? What if I'm not ready? What if I do everything right and it still falls apart? And you're standing there holding a pregnancy test, and somehow, you're already terrified. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Because what you're experiencing isn't weakness. It's not overthinking, and it is absolutely not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. Today, we're going to unpack the psychology and neuroscience behind pregnancy anxiety, why your brain is literally wired to worry when you're expecting, what's happening inside you on a biological level, and what you can actually do to find some peace in the middle of all of it. I'm so glad you're here. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about what pregnancy anxiety actually is, because it's not the same as just being a worrier. Psychology defines anxiety as a state of excessive worry or fear about future events, situations we perceive as threatening, even when the threat may not be immediate or certain. During pregnancy, that perceived threat becomes incredibly personal. You're not just worried about yourself anymore. You're worried about a life you are growing inside your own body. Studies show that between 15 and 20% of pregnant women experience clinically significant anxiety. But here's what those numbers don't capture. Almost every pregnant woman experiences some level of worry. It's one of the most universal emotional experiences of expecting a baby. And yet, we don't talk about it enough. Most of what we see on social media is glowing bumps and gender reveals, not the 3 a.m. spiral where you're Googling symptoms and convincing yourself something is wrong. So let's normalize what's really happening. And more importantly, let's understand why it's happening. Here's the part that changed everything for me, and I think it will for you too. Your brain during pregnancy is not the same brain you had before. Research in neuroscience has shown that pregnancy causes significant changes in the brain's structure and function, particularly in areas connected to emotion regulation, threat detection, and social bonding. Your amygdala, that's the part of your brain that acts like your internal alarm system, becomes hyperactivated during pregnancy. It is scanning your environment constantly, looking for anything that could be a threat. And from an evolutionary standpoint, that makes complete sense. For thousands of years, pregnancy was one of the most vulnerable times in a woman's life. Being hyper-aware of danger wasn't anxiety, it was survival. Your brain developed the capacity to worry precisely because worrying helped protect you and your baby. So when your brain is racing through every possible what-if scenario at midnight, it's not broken, it's ancient, it's protective. It's doing what it learned to do over thousands of years of human evolution. But here's the tension. We live in a modern world where the threats our brain is preparing for often aren't real or immediate. And so that ancient alarm system fires even when there's nothing to run from. Now layer on top of that the hormones. During pregnancy, your body produces extraordinary amounts of estrogen, progesterone, and cortisol. Each of these hormones plays a role in sustaining the pregnancy and preparing your body for birth. But they also have a significant effect on your mood and your nervous system. Cortisol, in particular, is your primary stress hormone. In pregnancy, cortisol levels increase significantly, especially in the third trimester. This is partly intentional. Cortisol helps prepare the baby's lungs for breathing, and it primes your body for labor. But elevated cortisol also means you are biologically more sensitive to stress. Your nervous system is running hotter. Stimuli that might not have bothered you before now feel overwhelming. Small worries can snowball into full panic in a matter of minutes. And progesterone, which surges during the first trimester to support the pregnancy, has been shown to have a sedating effect on the nervous system, which sounds calming, but for many women, it creates a foggy, emotionally raw state that makes anxiety feel even harder to manage. You are not imagining how hard this is. Your body chemistry is genuinely, measurably different. Beyond biology, there are specific psychological patterns that drive pregnancy anxiety, and recognizing them can be one of the most powerful things you do for your mental health. The first is called intolerance of uncertainty. This is a well-researched psychological concept that describes our difficulty sitting with not knowing. And pregnancy is full of uncertainty. You cannot control every outcome. You cannot see what's happening inside your body at every moment. You are making decisions without guarantees. For someone with a high intolerance of uncertainty, that not knowing becomes almost unbearable. The brain tries to resolve it by imagining every possible scenario, including the worst ones, because for the anxious brain, a known bad outcome can feel less threatening than no answer at all. The second is hypervigilance, a state of being on constant alert. When you've experienced loss, trauma, or even just heard enough difficult stories, your nervous system learns to stay ready. You watch every symptom, you Google everything, you count movements. You hold your breath until the next appointment confirms everything is okay. This is especially common for women who have experienced a previous pregnancy loss, a difficult childhood, or any form of trauma. Your nervous system has learned that bad things happen, and it is doing its very best to protect you from being blindsided again. The third psychological trigger is what we call catastrophic thinking, also known as catastrophizing. This is when your brain jumps immediately to the worst-case scenario and treats it as the most likely outcome. A cramp becomes a miscarriage. A missed kick becomes something terrible. A headache becomes a crisis. This isn't irrational. It's your brain trying to emotionally prepare for something it fears deeply. But it's exhausting, and it can rob you of the ability to be present in your pregnancy. There's something else we need to name, and that's the invisible emotional weight of pregnancy that no one puts on the registry. Society tells you this is supposed to be the happiest time of your life, and when your inner experience doesn't match that, when you're scared instead of glowing, overwhelmed instead of excited, you might feel like something is wrong with you. Or worse, you might feel guilty for not feeling the way you think you should. Psychologists call this emotional labor, the work of managing your feelings to meet external expectations. During pregnancy, many women perform an enormous amount of emotional labor, presenting as happy and grateful, minimizing their fears, and reassuring everyone else, while internally carrying a weight that no one sees. That labor is exhausting, and it is one of the reasons pregnancy anxiety often goes unspoken and untreated. You are allowed to say, "I love this baby," and "I am terrified." Both of those things can be true at the same time. So now that we understand the why, let's talk about what actually helps. The first thing is simply naming what you're experiencing. Psychologists call this affect labeling, and research shows that putting a name to an emotion actually reduces its intensity in the brain. When you say to yourself, "This is anxiety," "This is my amygdala firing," "This is my brain trying to protect me," you create distance between you and the feeling. You become the observer, not the prisoner. The second is what therapists call containment. Set a worry window, a specific time of day, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, where you allow yourself to fully think through your fears. Outside of that window, when the anxiety creeps in, you remind yourself, "I have a time for this, not right now." The third is regulation through the body. Because anxiety lives in the nervous system, cognitive tools alone aren't always enough. Slow, deep breathing, particularly extending the exhale, activates the parasympathetic nervous system and signals safety to the brain. Even 4 or 5 intentional can shift your physiological state. And the fourth, please reach out for support, whether that's a therapist, a midwife, a support group, or even just one person who lets you speak your fears out loud without trying to fix them. Anxiety grows in isolation. Connection is one of the most powerful antidotes we have. Here's what I want you to take away from this video. Your brain is not working against you. It is working overtime to protect someone it already loves, and it hasn't even met them yet. Pregnancy anxiety is not a character flaw. It is not a sign you're going to be a bad mother. It is a neurological and psychological response to one of the most profound experiences a human being can go through. You deserve support. You deserve information, and you deserve to understand yourself, not just survive yourself. If this video helped you feel a little more seen, share it with a pregnant mama who needs to hear this today, and subscribe to Everyday Mom Chronicles, because this is exactly what we do here. We take the hardest parts of motherhood and give them a name, a framework, and a path forward. I'll see you in the next one. You're doing better than you think.